Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the IMR Thunder Tusk. This is an elite variant of the IMR. Unfortunately, it's not the one you've probably heard a lot about. Most people like to talk about the Bore Strike or the Impact because they have higher damage. However, I feel the Thunder Tusk is an excellent elite variant, and I kind of wanted to give it some love here on In Depth. And speaking of giving some love, we should all give a little love to J-Hub because this is his gameplay. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Thunder Tusk, so he was kind enough to supply some Thunder Tusk gameplay for me. He helps me with a ton of videos, a ton of in-depth testing, a lot of stuff on my channel. I'd appreciate it if you go to his channel and check him out, maybe subscribe if you like the content. You can click the annotation or the link down there in the description. And now let's talk about the stats of the Thunder Tusk because they're actually fairly straightforward. The big benefit of the Thunder Tusk, really the only positive thing, is that it has minus 30% recoil. This is a view kick, so it's not necessarily center speed or anything, but just essentially just pure recoil reduction, minus 30%. That's like a free foregrip. As a matter of fact, that might actually be more than a single foregrip. That's probably like I don't know, a foregrip and a half. That is an extremely huge recoil reduction, and you will immediately feel it right off the bat because this is an extremely accurate variant, and it's like a little laser, which is very good because that's how burst weapons should be. Burst weapons shouldn't really kick a whole lot. They should reward precision aiming, and it doesn't have attachment restrictions, so if you want to, you can put a foregrip on top of all that, and you can have a super, like, absurdly accurate gun that pretty much doesn't kick at all at any ranges, but it's not really needed. You can make it go from 98% accurate to 99% accuracy, but is that 1% increase in accuracy worth the attachment slot? In my opinion, no. I would much rather have some other attachments on it, but let's talk about some of the downsides because the attachments that I'm going to recommend later in this episode are essentially those that are going to counter the negative attributes of this weapon. The most major negative attribute, the one that you'll notice right off the bat, is that you have minus 8 rounds in the magazine. Now, you're not seeing it here because J-Hub is running extended mags. The base IMR has a 36 round magazine. This one has a 28 round magazine. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's 2 less bursts. And for a weapon that often kills between 1 or 2 bursts, that's 1 or 2 kills you might not be able to get, and it causes more frequent reloading, and the reloading is a little bit slower than I would like it to be on the IMR. So this is a pretty big downside, and you will notice it immediately, but it can be countered by extended mags, which we'll talk about later. And it has a 10% wider hipfire spread. Oh, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I meant to say, I think the idea behind having less rounds in the magazine with this one is, I can imagine a developer saying, if we give them a much more accurate assault rifle, it would be fair if they had less ammo because it would be easier to hit your shots, and the amount of people that you kill, time to kill, etc., should be essentially the same because you shouldn't be missing as much if it's more accurate. Anyway, let me skip ahead to the wider hipfire spread. It has a 10% wider hipfire spread, which is really not a big deal. I seriously doubt that you're going to notice it at all, and at the ranges at which you're hipfiring, it's probably going to be getting 3-shot kills, definitely 4-shot kills anyway, so it's going to be a 2-hit or quit up close, and you're really not going to feel this. I don't feel that the laser sight is going to be necessary to counter this at all, because it's really more of an ADS kind of weapon. I feel that this weapon is worthy of the title of Elite, because the amazing accuracy is what makes this gun worthy of being an Elite. This is probably, I'm trying to think, there's a lot of very accurate guns, a lot of, you know, variants and whatever. This is definitely top tier in accuracy. If it's not the most accurate assault rifle, it's going to be number 2 or number 3. It's extremely accurate, and that's what makes it so elite. If you've got good aim, if you play on PC with a mouse, this will be super easy, but if you've got good aim on console, if you've been good with burst weapons in the past, you will absolutely love this gun. I feel that it's best with some kind of optics, an optical attachment, a red dot sight, variable zoom, ACOG, thermal, just whatever you want to put on it. Like 99% of people are just going to run red dot, and I feel that's the best too. And extended mags. You're going to need extended mags. That one's really the non-optional one. Optical attachments will allow you to increase your accuracy much better than using the iron sights because you have the little dot, and the extended mags will counter the magazine penalty. It won't counter it all the way, not quite. You'll have 42 instead of the standard 36, but it's still nice and you don't have to worry about reloading quite as often. We'll be reviewing many other IMR variants later on, but for now, that is all for In Depth. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. You can check out the previous episode, which is on the MK14 or Mark 14 Eagle Eye. And the next episode, I'm going to keep secret for now. Woo, secret video. Drifter out.